ang ICC ay tuta ni Trillanes at ni Marcos. You saw President Duterte being pulled outside of the room, pushed into a plane. Is that a person who is a flight risk? He cannot even walk 3 steps and fall to the ground. In fact, how many times has he slipped and hit his head? But there was one issue about Karim Khan in relation to the case of President Rodrigo Duterte. And what was it? He had conflict.
Narito ang Balitang Pinoy TV.
Eto na nga, no, nagkaroon po ng rally dyan sa Hague, Netherlands sa harap ng ICC patungkol po kay former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte na Release Duterte Now rally. Ayan, kung saan itong si Vice President Inday Sara Duterte isiniwalat ang history kung bakit nandiyan ngayon si former President Duterte. Sino ang tao na nag-orchestrate dito? Sino yung taong nagplano nito? Bakit nandyan ngayon si Tatay Digong? Isiniwalat po, ibinulgar po ni VP Sara dito sa video na ito. Yan ang ipapakita ko sa inyong lahat, okay? Pero bago ang lahat guys, bago natin ito pakikinggan kasi medyo mataas itong mga banat ni VP Sara dito sa video na ito at tayo po ay babanat rin, magre-react po tayo dito. Bago ang lahat, paki-like muna at saka paki-share itong ating video, no? Para guys, kakalat ito sa taong bayan. At least naman makatulong tayo na mas spread natin ang mensahe ni VP Sara. And at the same time guys, sa mga hindi pa nakasubscribe dito sa ating channel, if this is your first time na nanonood dito sa ating vlog, mag-subscribe na po kayo kasi libre lang po ang mag-subscribe sa YouTube. Walang bayad yan. Kaya subscribe na kayo, no? Yung mga senior natin na mga nanonood dito, magpatulong kayo sa inyong mga apo, sa inyong mga anak, kung paano po mag-subscribe. Kasi kung nakasubscribe na kayo dito sa ating channel, ay lagi kayong updated sa ating mga trending na balita, especially dito kay VP Sara at ni Tatay Digong. Okay? Subscribe na po kayo. Eto, unahin muna natin itong wala naman tayong ibang kundi pakikinggan natin po ang shoutout nga pala ha sa Hague, Netherlands, sa mga nagrarally dyan, brave Filipinos na nandyan po, sobrang mainit dyan ngayon sa Hague, Netherlands, pero nandyan po kayo, nagtipon-tipon po kayo para sa suporta po ni Tatay Digong. Nakakataba ng puso yung mga hanggang ngayon, marami pa rin mga Pilipino na sumusuporta dito kay Tatay Digong. Ito po, panoorin po natin, no? Play!
He should be released. And he should be released immediately. This is not about justice. This is about politics in the Philippines. Because who was the first to be sent to detention? President Marcos. President Duterte. Next, pwede na. If the ICC wants the world to respect the institution, they should first know how to respect the law.
Bring him home! Bring him home! Bring him home!
Bring him home!
Bring him home!
Bring him home! Him home! Bring him home!
Ang susunod na pagpapasalamat ko ay sa Filipino community dito sa Den Haag, sa Hague. Nagpapasalamat ako sa kanila dahil sila yung hiningan ko ng tulong para mabuo yung pagtitipon natin ngayong araw na ito. At meron akong special thank you kay Alvin and Tourism dahil siya ang ginulo ko para magawa ang rally natin ngayong araw na ito. And Alvin, na nawalan ng tulog dahil sa Faksilika. Alvin, if they cannot respect a no comment, you should not lose sleep over it. That is their problem. That is not your problem.
Tama!
Dapat sila ang ma-stress sa'yo. Bakit ikaw ang na-stress sa kanila? Ikaw ang na-stress. Init na yan.
Okay, binabash si VP Sara sa Paksilika na commentary.
Thank you.
Hindi siya nag-comment.
Sa tulong mo para mabuo ang ating programa ngayong araw na ito. Magsisimula ako sa paalala sa International Criminal Court na hindi nila pwedeng gamitin sa mga desisyon nila ang mga sinasabi natin patungkol sa kaso ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa ating mga actions of support kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. At syempre, sa mga assessment at opinion natin. Dahil walang nagbabawal sa Rome Statute na ipahayag natin ang ating mga nararamdaman. Lahat ng kanilang pinapalabas, nire-release publicly, ay pwedeng pag-usapan at pwedeng bigyan ng komento. Kaya lagi ko sinasabi, kapag ako ay tinatanong, ano ang tingin ko sa desisyon na nilabas ng ICC? Ang sinasabi ko lagi, walang basihan sa batas. Ano ba ang pinagbasihan nila? Libro ng isang tao na hindi mo naman alam kung ano ang kredibilidad? Suporta ng mga tao? Siyempre, dahil dating head of state yan, dating pangulo yan, minamahal yan ng marami. Siyempre, meron talaga tayong ipapakita na suporta. Ako, anak, kapamilya, siyempre, magagalit ako sa ginawa sa aking ama at sa isang Pilipino na ninakaw, kinuha, kinidnap doon sa Pilipinas para ihatid dyan sa ICC. Let us start in the year 2017. In 2017, a lawyer submitted a communication to the International Criminal Court. And this was supplemented by a communication by former Senator Trillanes and another person. That was in 2017. In 2018, the court took it under consideration. Between 2017 until 2021, there was investigation, no investigation, put on hold. Let us start first with the complainant. Who is Trillanes? Trillanes is the person behind the Oakwood Mutiny and the Manila Peninsula Siege. Which was against who? It was against President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Trillanes stood on the platform of anti-corruption against Arroyo. We do not know the dealings, the negotiations behind the mutiny and the siege. That is not discussed publicly. When did we next see Trillanes? We saw him next in the Jejomar Binay attack. Vice President Binay was a candidate, a presumptive candidate for the 2016 election. And then what did he do? He attacked Vice President Binay on the platform of anti-corruption.
Talagang aso talaga si Trillanes.
But you must remember, he never attacked President Aquino on the platform of anti-corruption. And you remember the DAP, the pork barrel scam of the Aquino administration. And where was Trillanes then? Quiet. Because we do not know how much, where, how, when the negotiations happened.
Alright.
When did you see him again? Trillanes, hear about him again. You heard about him in 2016 because President Duterte was the front runner. In April 2016, President Duterte was already the front runner of the presidential elections. Everyone forgot about Mar Rojas, the candidate of Trillanes. Everyone was focused on Rodrigo Duterte, including Trillanes. This was the first time you heard about EJK, DDS, bank accounts, billions in the bank accounts. This was in 2016. In 2017, he filed the communication in ICC. And if you can remember, President Duterte never did anything against Trillanes, against the witnesses of Trillanes during the Senate hearing. He presented Bato-Bato, he presented Las Cañas, and he claimed so many things about the Davao Death Squad. And what did President Duterte do? He told everyone, pabayaan nyo yan. It is his right to speak. It is his freedom to talk about the Davao Death Squad. So that is... Okay na ng payong, sir. Ay, ma'am, sorry, ma'am. May panyo ako, ma'am. So that was Trillanes. That is Trillanes. Against Gloria Arroyo, anti-corruption. Against Binay, anti-corruption. Against Rodrigo Duterte, anti-corruption. EJK.
So ibig sabihin ni VP Sara, si Trillanes talaga aso Okay? Aso. Bakit siya aso? Because he is being selective sa kanyang propaganda na lalabanan natin ang korupsyon. Pero ang sarili niyang bakod na amo nung panahon ni Pinoy, hindi naman nila wala siyang ginawa doon sa pork barrel yun, di ba? Yun ang kasagsagan ng korupsyon doon, pork barrel doon sa panahon ni Pinoy. Wala, si Trillanes wala. Di ba? Si Trillanes is aso. Aso talaga yan.
But do you hear him speak of anti-corruption when it comes to President Aquino and President Marcos?
Correct.
Makes you question. What is the anti-corruption platform for? Whose interest is he serving?
Correct.
This is yellow, pink, red. Lahat ng kulay, maliban lang sa green.
Lucky Charm.
Maliban sa green at black.
Thank you, friend.
Diba? He is quiet when negotiations happen for his interest.
Correct.
But if negotiations are for the interest of, against the interest of Trillanes, he is noisy.
Silent.
So that is 2017 in the background of the person who sent the communication to ICC. Now here comes ICC. Yes, we take it into consideration, and then yes, we will investigate. We will put on hold the investigation through the years, and then come 2021, we will investigate. And who is the person? Who was the prosecutor who finally defended the investigation? It was Prosecutor Karim Khan, who was dismissed for an entirely different issue, but there was one issue about Karim Khan in relation to the case of President Rodrigo Duterte. And what was it? He had conflict of interest because his previous work was representation of the victims of supposed EJK under the Commission on Human Rights in the Philippines.
Grabe.
That was his conflict of interest. But did ICC say categorically that you have conflict of interest? No. They did not. They just said that the appearance of impropriety excludes him from this case. But how can you give credibility to an investigation by someone who represented the victims? And now you're saying he must be investigated and prosecuted. That is clear conflict of interest. It muddles the entire investigation. That is our complainant, that is our prosecutor. We go to jurisdiction. ICC said, we have jurisdiction because we took the complaint under consideration before the Philippines withdrew as a member of the International Criminal Court. And what does that mean? It means that if you take it under consideration before withdrawal of a country, there will always be an open complaint, open under consideration, open investigation through the years, even if the ICC will not act on it. And is that justified? Of course not, because it will be a perpetual investigation. There must be an end to the perceived liability, to the under consideration, to the investigation. Otherwise, it will be 300 years from now, assuming this ICC will exist for 300 years, there will be an open under consideration complaint, communication inside the ICC. That is what the countries who are withdrawing now from the ICC should watch out. Because if there is something under consideration there, even if they withdraw 50 years from now, kung buhay pa yung ICC, they can file a case. That is why we have been saying, you have no jurisdiction. 2 years has passed since the withdrawal of the Philippines from the ICC before any formal inquiry was done.
Ayan. Ano natin? Skip natin. Skip.
If that is allowed, then there will be no end to the ICC going after sovereign nations. That is jurisdiction. We go to how the ICC disregarded how former President Rodrigo Duterte was kidnapped from the Philippines. They say, it doesn't matter to us how he was taken, where he was taken, by what means he was taken. What matters to us was that he was delivered to The Hague and endorsed to the ICC. If this is about justice, then why does it allow injustice to happen to people who are respondents of communications, of complaints inside ICC? Next, we go to interim release, the release of President Duterte. There are three things in the Rome Statute that are to be considered before a release can be considered or granted to a respondent. First is that he is not a flight risk. Second is that he does not, will not, cannot obstruct the ongoing investigation. And third, he cannot continue to commit crimes under the ICC jurisdiction. You saw President Duterte being pushed, pulled outside of the room, pushed into a plane. Is that a person who is a flight risk? He cannot even walk 3 steps and fall to the ground. In fact, how many times has he slipped and hit his head in detention? No one can count anymore. And no one is talking about it.
Grabe.
Because why? President Duterte is the Asian poster boy in answer to the attacks that ICC is only going after the black race. He is a flight risk because of the support of the Filipinos around the world. Is that an assessment, a correct measure of a flight risk? Second, he will cannot continue to interfere or obstruct any investigation. Investigation started when? When he was president. The witnesses, Matubato, Las Cañas, when? When he was president. And what did he do? Nothing at all. He allowed the ICC to say whatever it wants, to do whatever it wants, even when he was president. When he was former president, I told him, the ICC is doing an investigation. The investigators are coming in and out of the country. We have proof of immigration records. And what did he say to me? Basag di na sila. Di na sila pwede manghilabot sa ato ang nasod. Basag di na sila magsulod gawas dinhi sa ato ang nasod. And I knew that something was happening because I hear it from the office of the former speaker, Romualdez, and so I put it on record. What did I do? I wrote the president. Why is the ICC continuing the investigation inside the Philippines? And then he said, what did he say? He said, we will not cooperate in any shape or form with the ICC because it is an infringement in our sovereignty. On that point, he was correct.
Instead of telling you how easy
Tama
it is
siya,
to make a
pero
song with
sinungaling
Sonar,
siya. Yan
why
ang
don't I just show
katotohanan,
you?
si BBM, di ba?
Let's
Because our judicial courts are functioning. We can go to court, file a complaint, the judge can hear it, the judge can decide, the judge can put you to jail easily. There is no breakdown of the judicial system in the Philippines. And so, any interference of the ICC is an affront to our sovereignty. And that is the only correct thing that Marcos did, or Marcos said about ICC, that letter. But did he follow through on what he said? He presented a letter, he released an official letter, but his left hand was doing other negotiations. He was doing exactly the opposite of his letter. He was allowing the investigation to happen, supported by the House of Representatives and Antonio Trillanes. And so we go to the corruption in the investigation. Former soldiers, former employees of Congressman Zaldico already executed affidavits saying that they were told to exchange pesos to dollars because this will be delivered to the
Bayaran ng
ICC investigators through Trillanes.
Grabe.
And this is not hearsay because the person who did the delivery, who received the instructions, who went to the money exchange and exchanged for dollars, who delivered the money was the same person who talked to Zaldico. And so,
Grabe, no?
how do we characterize Trillanes and Marcos in relation to ICC? Yes, they are traitors to a Filipino and to the country. But more than that, ang ICC ay tuta ni Trillanes at ni Marcos.
Yes!
Yun. Because the ICC has no other case except for the case of President Rodrigo Duterte. And they found what? And they found Marcos, Trillanes, and money in the Philippine case. Maleta ang pinag-uusapan dito. So where is the justice in all this? There is no justice for the Philippines, there is no justice for the Filipinos, and there is no justice for former President Rodrigo Duterte.
Ito na nga mga kabalita. Ano na ang masasabi nyo patungkol sa balitang ito? Please comment down below mga kabalita. Pag-usapan natin yan sa comment section. At kung di ka pa nakasubscribe sa ating channel, baka naman